Happy Thursday. I can't believe it's Thursday. All week, I had no idea what day of the week it's been. It's been kind of strange, but I'm glad. I hope you're here to see me create this card, and I'm going to make this sail in the direction of your dreams card. Although I'm going to switch up the sentiment, I think, when I make this card tonight. And I'm also going to show you how you can step it up a little bit as well. So this stamp set, I love it because it reminds me of trips down east to Nova Scotia and New Brunswick. So this is the Sailing Home stamp set. And so we have boats, or sailboats, compass, anchor, rope, some great sentiments, some birdies, and gulls, I guess you should say, and a lighthouse. So great images, very detailed. And then in the catalog, so this is the annual catalog. Now, just a reminder for everyone, this catalog is retiring the first part of May, May 3rd. So that's coming up quick. Hard to believe it's March. May will be here before we even know it. It's crazy. Anyway, so if there's anything in this catalog that you'd like, I would suggest ordering it soon. But retired list will come out in April. So next month, most likely. I don't know the date yet, but I will let you know when I find out. So this one here, so this is the mini stamp cut and emboss. We're going to use that again tonight and use it with the smooth sailing dies. So these coordinate together, and I've put them in a clear case with some magnetic sheets for me to make it easier. So then I think what we're going to do is maybe add an anchor on there or something tucked in kind of behind in here, because I'm going to change the sentiment up and we'll have a little bit of room. All right, now the designer series paper that I've used on this card is from the In Good Taste suite. So it is this designer paper right here. So I've used a couple different sheets in there. It's a big pack of paper. It is $29 for the whole pack of paper, but you receive a lot of paper in there. So it has, I guess I have to go to 148 because I can't remember. I think it's 24 sheets. 148 is where all the wonderful, beautiful designer series paper lives. It's In Good Taste. 2 of each of 12 double-sided sheets. So there's 24 sheets in there. So lots and lots of the designs, some textiles and wood and everything. All right, so I'm going to put that away now. So this card here, we start with a basic white. It's going to be hard to stop saying basic or whisper white. And if you don't remember, the whisper white was discontinued because our supplier for the paper, the cardstock, went out of business. So now we have this basic white, and it is so similar. I love it. It's great. So we have our card base, and I went looking for the same pattern in my pack of paper, but I couldn't find it. So I found another design. So they look very, very similar. Hopefully you can tell in the Facebook Live, but they're very, very close. So this one has some tile on the back, but it doesn't look kind of oceany to me. So it's going to go right down. We're going to use some liquid glue, and you want just a little, so just a small squeeze, clean off the end there. So you just have a little bit, and then we're just going to stick this. Now I've cut my designer paper. Because it's 12 inches, I've cut it to 4. So width of 4, so I can get 3 strips out of it. If you wanted to cover the whole card front, then it'll be 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 rather than 5 1/4 here. And so you'll get less card fronts out of it, but then you'll have some strips to be able to do something different with it. All right, so then we have some gray granite and some basic white. These are 2 1/4 by 3 3/4, so they're 2 1/4 deep. And so this is just going to go like this, whatever kind of way you want it to go. And then this one, once you stamp on it and put the ribbon on it, this one will go like this. So they're not straight at all. This one's almost straight, but not quite. Okay, so we're going to leave that for now. I'm just going to slide that off to the side. And I have this basic white piece to be able to punch. So I'll grab one of my stamps. They won't be big enough, but because we're using the punch, we're using the Label Me Lovely punch. So this punch here, I don't need the whole image of the lighthouse. So then I'm going to do, make sure the top of the lighthouse is on the block. And we're going to use some gray granite. And I'll just grab this because it's a little bit easier to clean than my desk is. Because even though this is hanging off the edge, it'll still pick up some ink. So then you want to stamp it. There we go. And then my Simply Chamois. And just clean that off. Now I've decided for these ones not to put the sticker on the back. So you don't have to use our stamps with the cling sticker on it. So then I have these little birdies. Now I do have to caution you though, that sentiments are a little bit easier to use when the sticker's on. I had to stamp this 5 times before I got it straight because I was having issues. All right, so then we're going to use some that was crumb cake. I'm going to use some crumb cake for the gulls. And I want to put that better. And I'm going to stamp off onto my paper just to get them a little bit lighter. Something like that. Clean my little gulls off and put them back so I don't lose them. All right, and then we're going to take our punch, turn it upside down, and then you can figure out where you'd like it to go. You can do it off-centered like I did for my other one. I think I'll do it right there. All right, I'm gonna clean off the birds. There we go. So there is our punched piece. So then our sentiment, I am going to do Let Hope Be the Anchor in Your Life. So we're going to do a fancier sentiment on this one. We're going to use Memento. Hopefully this one doesn't take me as long to stamp. So I'm going to try the back first to see how it looks. Okay. Where'd that go? Right there. Just so I don't get black ink on my table. It'll wash off, but just in case. All right, so we want this down here. There we go, that's better. So if you're not sure, stamp either on your washable surface or on your grid paper or scrap paper that you have. So that way you can have a look at it before you wrap the front of your card if you're worried or concerned about that. All right, so now we have this braided linen thread, or trim I should say. It is lovely. You can pull it apart and it just comes unraveled, but I don't want to do that today. And I'm just going to wrap it around and tie just a simple double knot. This is a little bit too thick of a trim of a ribbon to tie it in a bow to be able to put it in the mail or to put it nicely in an envelope. So I find that just a double tie is good enough. Whoops. Oh, goodness. I have to I'll just leave it like that. And then I'm going to grab a little bit of our tear tape and put that on the back just to secure it so it doesn't go sliding around on me. Whoopsie. And we'll just trim off our ends. Get my little garbage thing out of here. There we go. Something like that. Maybe I'll flip this around because that knot's in not the spot I want it to be in. So because this is a thicker ribbon, thicker trim, I think I can do it. There we go. So now it sits up. There, that looks a little better. All right, so now we're gonna take our card base that has the designer paper, clear some of this off. And this one we're going to put kind of centered, the right side up a little, something like that. And then we'll put some glue on the back of here. And you could take the tear tape off if you thought it would be helpful, like this corner. And then we're just going to stick it. So it's not really straight. Something like that. This side is a little bit off. All right, and then we'll take some dimensionals. I like the mini ones. Just put some of those on there. And then take the backs off. There we go. This was a very moody card when I made it. I felt like it was a moody card. It was perfect kind of for March with who knows what weather we get. All right, so there is exactly the same card, just set up a little differently. I didn't cut the early espresso piece for the second one. It was a neat little add-on because I was following a sketch, but I kind of like it without. All right, so now we're going to switch these cards up even more, and we're going to use the same card base, so same basic white card base, same pack of designer paper, but this time I'm going to use this distressed wood. So it kind of looks like a dock. At least I think it looks like a dock. Kind of dock wood. So you like what you'd tie your sailboat up to or something. It's very distressed, weathered looking. I love the wood designs in this pack of paper. All right. So now for our sentiment, we are going to use just a simple thanks. I'm going to stamp it first since I have that on my mind. And I'm going to make sure on the back here to make sure it looks good for stamping. And I think I'm going to put that. Maybe I won't. Maybe that's a silly thing because I wanted to die cut an anchor. So let's see whether the anchor fits first. That might be a good idea. All right, so there's a couple different things you could do. You could take a piece of silver or even the designer paper or even the gray granite and cut out the anchor if you want. But what we're going to do tonight is we're going to stamp it onto Whisper White. And we're going to use gray granite so that matches the paper. I'm going to stamp it over here. All right, because I think that gives me enough room for this lighthouse to go. Yeah, it does. And then I'm going to grab the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And anything smaller than a width of 3.5 is perfect to put through the machine. So then we'll put the die over top here. Put that through. And out it comes the other side. So you have this perfect little die cut with even the little hole cut out at the top. And then to put away our little machine, you just flip up the sides and put the plates with it. Alright, so now I'm going to stamp the lighthouse again, but I think actually this time, I think we might do this little sailboat just to get that theme, because we have the anchor. So we'll stamp this in gray granite. And we'll put it kind of here in the middle-ish, like so. And then we'll grab a crumb cake to do the gulls again. They just seem to be a given to me. They're kind of too big to be called sandpipers, but there we go. That works. Oops. Oops. Things are flying all over the place tonight. There we go. Move things out of my way. Have some room. There we go. Alright, so leave me a comment about which one you like better. The lighthouse or the sailboat. I'd love to know what you would put on your card front using this stamp set. So then we're going to punch this out like so. We'll put some dimensionals on the back if I can find them. Like so. Now, when we go to put this together, let's put the white down. Something like that. And then I think what we'll do is for the thanks, I want it to be a little bit more straight. Maybe like that. Might look a little strange, but let's see if I can get that straight. And then I think I'm going to leave off the twine, off the linen thread, not thread, linen trim. I'm going to glue this down over top of the white, and then we can finish assembling the card and maybe put some bling on there, put some embellishment. Try and get that thanks straight. So even though it's not straight against there, having it kind of straight with the card. And then this fine tip part of my anchor, we're going to use that to put a little bit of glue. And then we'll put the anchor right there. And then we'll put this over top. Like so. And then I think we're going to put a little bit of bling on this part here, and I want to use hopefully I don't want rhinestones. Kind of like these, but maybe I should use the champagne rhinestones. No, they're too, I think maybe pearls. Put some pearls on there and use our take your pick tool with the putty end and put some of these smaller ones on. course, I get stuck to my finger. Let's put one there. I don't like this one up here. Let's put it down there. There we go. And there, a little bit of bling on that card. So we have 3 different cards using designer series paper from the same pack of paper and using the same stamp set, the Sailing Home stamp set, to create all 3 cards. So you can get quite a variety of projects out of a pack of basic white thick cardstock, the Sailing Home stamp set, and even if you wanted to add on the smooth sailing dies as well, and then some cardstock, a punch, some ink, and you can create 3 cards fairly quickly. Thanks for joining me tonight, and I look forward to talking to you next week and sharing my other project.